Now, my mom is 92, and she's been watching the news about the dismantling of the post office by old Trump's old henchman, Louis DeJoy. And now, so she, I told you I got her the mail-in ballot, but she doesn't really trust it. And we're in New York, so early voting starts on October 24th. So we have a plan of going there on October 24th as soon as it opens, in the hopes that there will be no one there and we can protect her as much as possible because she really wants to, cast her ballot in person. But what are we thinking about the U.S. Post Office? Because I know that you guys are really preaching about a voting plan, and one of the biggest things you're saying is do it early, do everything early, mailing your ballot early, vote early, all of it. But what's your real take on the post office, my love, and is it safe?
It is safe. And here's why it's safe. We know that they were trying to ruin it, and because they were caught, because they were called on it, because Republicans and Democrats realized that it was a problem, because you got a lot of states, like the state of Utah is all mail-in voting. Utah is not a hotbed of Democrats. And so when you slow down the mail, you slow it down for everyone, and that's my point. And so because of that, Louis DeJoy is under a lot more pressure and a lot more attention. But that doesn't mean that the crisis is solved. It just means it's not going to be as bad as it was purported to be. And so what we can do now is know that in 39 states and in Washington, D.C., you actually have the ability to track your ballot. And if you go to, if you just look up Track My Ballot, they can tell you if you live in one of the states where you can track your ballot. New York is not currently on that list. And so then the second thing is, if you vote early enough, you can usually guarantee your vote will count. But if you are at all worried, yes, have the backup plan of going to vote in person. But I do believe that voting by mail is safe and accessible. But you need to track it because it's not just about whether the post office delivers it. It's whether a mistake is made. And I will use myself very quickly as an example. I plan to vote by mail in our June primary here in Georgia, the terrible debacle of an election. I got my absentee ballot a little later than I thought I'd get it, filled it out, got ready to put it in the return envelope, and the envelope was sealed shut. I know, as a legislator and as a lawyer, that if I had put that open and tried to put my mail in and then taped it shut, it would have been thrown out because that would be considered tampering. So I knew better. There are millions of Americans who may not know exactly what the rules are where they live. And so the reason we say make a plan is make a plan to cast your ballot, make sure you know the rules. But we're fighting across this country to make sure that if you do make a mistake, because you didn't become an election lawyer overnight, that you have the chance to fix whatever mistake is made. And that's why you need a plan. Vote as early as possible so that if there is a problem, you can fix that problem. And if you can't fix the problem, make sure you know when you can vote early and if you need to vote in person on Election Day. But no matter what, we have to remember that if we do not vote in this election, we not only lose this election, we lose the future, because so many choices have to be made about how we recover from COVID, how we prepare for the next pandemic, how we prepare for economic success. We've got to get that done, and we've got to do it now.